Okay, I'm so glad that the video that I posted resonated with so many of you, and a lot of you are asking how to connect with your spirit guides and your angels. I just want to preface this by saying that this is my experience. This is the extent of what I know, and I'm aware that I don't know everything. None of us really do when it comes to all of this stuff. It really just comes from your own personal connection with your angels and your guides. This is not something that, you just read in a book or you listen to somebody else talk about. It's more your own personal experience. And so this is mine. And from what I understand when it comes to spirit guides, I've been working with guides and my soul and my angels for about 5 years now. I mean, I've always known of their presence, but I don't think I've actively acknowledged them or even asked for their help, like until, I want to say like 2019. That was really when I got into tarot, when I got into astrology and crystal healing and past lives and all that stuff. It really is like a deep, dark hole, but in a good way. So, I would say that I've worked with many different guides. So, from my understanding, spirit guides, like you don't only have one spirit guide, you actually have multiple. And based on what you're going through in life, you can connect with the guide that can help you go through certain challenges. And now that I have this connection with them, it's much easier for me to connect and listen to them without being in that, still meditative container. But I would say if you're new to it, being still is really, really important. If you find it really hard to focus with just your thoughts, I also find that channeled writing is really powerful. You can just ask a question and then start writing, and see what comes through. The most important thing when you're going through this period is trust. Like you have to trust that it is happening. You have to trust that you're not making it up. And honestly, when you're just starting, it is going to sound like you're making it up. It is going to feel like you're making it up, but what's important is to just keep going and keep trusting that you're on the right track. I remember I felt this presence, and it was I'm trying to put it into words because a lot of this work is it's so intuitive that sometimes it's really hard to put things into words. Like you just feel these things in your body. But essentially I was able to sort of, like, I just knew that this was Medusa. It's not that I saw like snakes in her head or like whatever, but I just saw like this really beautiful woman, and she was wearing all black and she had like purple smoke around her. And I remember like this guide came and she looked me in the eye and she was like, enough. Like, you're done. It ends here. And I remember that meditation was the catalyst for my healing. And that's something that I've never talked about, right? I mean, of course, then I found law of assumption, and I started to really practice law of attraction and understand inner work and, inner child healing, EFT tapping. But my initial journey and start of my healing journey was that meditation when Medusa just kind of looked at me and was like, girl, no, like enough is enough. You're done and you're walking away. And I swear to you, that moment I walked away. That moment I felt like, yeah, that's it. This is it. Like, this is enough. I'm no longer playing small, and I'm no longer going to sell myself short. Like, I'm going to work on myself. And after that meditation as well, I put Medusa as my screensaver to kind of remind me, anytime that I wanted to go back, anytime that my ex would text me, I would just remind myself like, no, you're done. Like you're done. Like you're actually, you're walking away, and this time it is forever. Because at that point, I've been wanting to sort of leave that relationship for a while because I knew that it was over, but I just couldn't do it. And so I would say my spirit guide at the time definitely helped me. And now that I'm in a different phase of life, my guide is different. During COVID, I was working a lot with a healing guide, and he was the one that kept me safe and healthy. And I don't know what you want to say about it. I didn't really get COVID until the very end of that whatever that we went through. And I always told myself that it's because I was protected by my angels and my guides. But, that's a very touchy subject, right? Like whenever we talk about COVID times. But anyway, I'm going to try to find the journal where I did write down my experience after I connected with Medusa. So give me a second. Okay, so I could not find the journal where I wrote that Medusa came through after I meditated. I'm not sure why or which journal it could be in, because I've looked through like 6 and it's not there. But anyway, I thought that I would look through my phone because obviously, I immediately told like my closest friends. And I basically wrote to a friend of mine. I was like, in 2022, that was when I went through my heartbreak. I was like, I felt like my word was femme fatale. And I remember back in May, after I came back from London, I did a meditation to meet my guide for this phase in my life, and I saw Medusa. I was really confused, but I saw this woman wearing black dress, dark makeup, dark lipstick, and she was like, you need to call your power back. I do remember that. And I was basically telling her that it's really weird because I felt like that phase of my life after my breakup, like the theme was very like dark feminine, kind of like femme fatale. And I had like a Pinterest board for it. And so when I was Googling photos, like when I typed in femme fatale, oh my God, the vibes were all Medusa, like literally all like Medusa photos came up. And I hadn't even Googled her after like meditating. It was basically, oh, it's right here. Oh my God. It's right here. I took a picture of the journal. I couldn't find that in my journal. That's so weird. But anyway, this is what I wrote in my journal, 6th of May, 2022. My guide came looking almost like the tarot devil card. Dark colored outfit, gray, black, red. She named herself Medusa. She said it's time for some tough love, to cut away people and things that don't belong in your life. She had an infinity sign above her head. Oh my God, I remember that. Covered in purple smoke. She said it's time to love yourself deeply. Do shadow and inner child work. Get that done. It's time to empower yourself. Wow. And I remember telling my friend that's so my vibe now. And moving into 2023, I need to start embodying this and wearing red lipstick and eyeliner. And I was reflecting and I told her, I said, it's so interesting how these things are put in front of your face. Like my guides have already told me this 4 months ago. But it's all about trusting. There's nothing like reading old journals to help you realize how far you've come. But honestly, for my own heartbreak journey, when Medusa came to me, I remember thinking like this is it. This is it. Like I'm going to work on my self-concept and I'm never going to look back. And honestly, what I went through in my previous relationship, I have never allowed anybody to treat me that way again. Like literally when I went through that heartbreak, I felt like dying. And it's because I did die. Like a part of me died. I look at the person that wrote that in her journal. It feels so odd because that's just not who I am anymore. But at the same time, I have so much compassion for that version of me. And actually, I realized that a lot of healing is about forgiving yourself. It's about forgiving the person that you were, and understanding that you cannot punish your past versions and you cannot punish yourself for the decision that you made in the past, for the things that you allowed people to do to you. I was nervous to even share that video about meeting my angels and my spirit guide, because I was like, oh my God, I really created my community based off of, like quantum manifesting and like the science of manifestation. But at the same time, I think there is there's another part of this whole entire thing that we just cannot explain logically. And maybe we're not meant to. We're not meant to explain it. We're not meant to understand it. We're just meant to embrace it. We're meant to trust it. Because I'm going to tell you honestly, right now, when I went through my heartbreak, I had been wanting to move on for so long, but I just couldn't. And the minute I connected with my guides, I did like a little meditation to meet your guides. And the minute I did that, and when Medusa came through and said, it's time for tough love, like now after reading that, I remember clearly that image with the infinity sign. And I remember clearly her telling me, I'm like getting chills talking about it, because I remember her looking at me in the eye and said, enough is enough. You're done. Walk away. She was like, walk the fuck away. You're done. And I remember I was sobbing in that meditation, because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's over. It actually makes me so emotional thinking about it, but I have so much compassion for that version of me, because I literally thought that I was never going to make it. Like, I thought that I was just going to be stuck, like in love with this person forever. And it wasn't until I met my spirit guides and trusted my angels. And like, angels is another whole different thing, because spirit guides and angels are different. But it wasn't until I allowed my guides to guide me, to support me, to lead the way. It was only then that I healed. Because before that, I think I was so stuck in my mind, But yeah, I just thought that I would share that my spirit guides helped me heal from my heartbreak. And if you're going through a breakup, if you're going through grief and sadness, I understand you. I feel you. And I invite you to just trust that even though you don't feel worthy right now, even though you don't feel like you'll ever get over this person, just know that you will. You will. And I know that my guides and my angels led me to tapping, right? Like, I would say it was a month or two after that breakup that I had that inkling within myself, that was like, try tapping. And I was like, no, I've tried that before and it didn't work. And I remember like my angels, I think more than my guides, but my angels were like, trust us one more time, 30 days every single day. And that's what I did. Something that I'm really proud of myself. Something that I'm really proud of myself. Does that make sense? Why does that not sound like English? Something that I'm really proud of myself. Anyway, is that no matter what is happening in my life, and it doesn't matter if it takes me 1 month, 1 year with my ex, it literally took me like years. But I remain open and I remain guidable. That's something that I'm really proud when it comes to myself, is that in the midst of challenges, I embrace it. I welcome it. Not to say that I like it. I don't like it. I'm not like romanticizing heartbreak or like struggle, because it's It's really not fun. And even healing itself, it's like a lot of people have made it into a trend. And I'm like, do you know what healing actually is? It fucking hurts. Like, you're on the floor sobbing. It's not Instagrammable. But anyway, yeah, like that's something that I'm really proud of myself. Why do I feel like I'm not speaking English? Anyway, I just thought that I would share that. And I hope that it helps somebody. If you're going through a heartbreak or you're trying to manifest a specific person and they're not coming into your life, surrender. Let it the fuck go. Let them go. Come back to you. Do a meditation to meet your spirit guides because they are always there and they are going to lead you back to you. They're going to help you to lead you back to you. I have so many things to talk about when it comes to this because it's not just about your guides. Like, I would say even before meeting your guides, you have to meet your higher self first because there's nobody that is more important than you and your soul. And then once you have that connection with your soul, you can connect with your guides and then your angels. Like, it's not like a hierarchy or anything like that, right? But it's a process. It takes time. So don't judge yourself. Let me know if you want a meditation to meet your higher self, a meditation to meet your spirit guides, and a meditation to meet your angels, maybe. I don't know. If you want that, I could probably create something like that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Comment below. Let's talk about this. I'm really glad that I'm just like out in the open, like telling everybody like, hey guys, I am woo woo, and I love that. By the way, I have another channel if you want to follow me there. I just talk about life. So like I was just talking about my favorite perfumes and my favorite snacks. So if you want to keep up with me like that, follow my other channel. It's called Silkina Tries It All on TikTok. And yeah, it was just reviewing like, oh my God, this new perfume that I sampled. Oh my God, it smells so good. It's the Burberry Goddess. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I love you. Bye.